Lil Meech really tossed a gun on his homie 3 Luck, then let the cops pull up like it was nothing. And of course, 50 Cent made sure the whole world saw it. That stuff got Big Meech fuming. Now, if you've been anywhere near the streets or your phone lately, you already know what clip we're talking about. That body cam footage of Lil Meech tossing heat and maybe even some substances onto his right-hand man, 3 Luck. Now, this dude, 3 Luck, ain't no actor. He's a certified street dude who held Meech down heavy. He did a whole 10-year bid, came out, and still stuck close. Almost like security, but out of loyalty. Even after that whole airport situation where Meech got caught on body cam trying to claim, "That's not my bag," which had the internet calling him a snitch in training. 3 Luck stayed loyal. But fast forward to last year, October 24th. That's when things took a dark turn. Meech and 3 Luck were riding around like usual. Meech was behind the wheel. 3 Luck knocked out in the passenger seat. The cops were already watching Meech. Dude was the target of an active investigation. So, when they ran his plates and saw who it was, they made their move. Now, here's the part that'll make your jaw drop. As the lights hit the car and police closed in, Meech started shifting, but not just in the driver's seat. He was offloading whatever was on him. Gun, substances. He slid it all over to 3 Luck, who was asleep. By the time the cops pulled up, 3 Luck woke up to a lap full of heat and caught the full charge. Now put yourself in 3 Luck's shoes. You're waking up to a traffic stop you didn't even know was happening with illegal gear in your lap and police walking up. He looked at Meech like, "Yo, did you just line me up?" Cops roll up, separate them, and start searching the ride. At first, they only find the firearms. Now, keep in mind this happened in Florida where gun laws ain't nearly as strict as places like Cali or NY. So, just the guns alone, that ain't necessarily a big deal. But here's where it gets shady. Meech knew what else was in that car because it wasn't just firearms. Now, this is where Meech starts to tweak as the cops are walking back telling him, "Hey, it's just guns. No big deal." Meech starts singing. He brings up the other stuff, probably some blow or weed, and points out where it's hidden. The funny part is that the police weren't even looking for that. But once Meech opened his mouth, the cops turned right back around and searched again. Once the police did a second search, they found exactly what Meech had tossed onto 3 Luck. That combo of firearms and narcotics turned the whole case federal. And it was 3 who ended up eating the charge. 3 Luck got arrested on the spot and he got sentenced to 40 months behind bars. And the wildest part, he had no idea what Meech had said to the police. All he knew was what he woke up to. Cops pulling up, heat in his lap, and Meech looking guilty. Still, 3 Luck tried to keep it solid. He figured maybe Meech just panicked. Maybe the kid would do right. So, he held it down, spent his life savings on legal fees, and hoped the BMF fam would hold him down in return. But nobody came through. Not $1 from Lil Meech. Not a dime from his people. It gets worse. Meech actually called 3 Luck while he was locked up, sounding apologetic. Told him he'd make it right. Said once the next season of BMF dropped, he'd get paid. Promised they'd break him off something for taking that fall. So, 3 Luck waited and waited. Then the news hit. 50 Cent can led the show. No new season, no bag, just silence. 3 Luck realized he'd been played. That's when 3 Luck snapped. He jumped on Instagram and unloaded everything. Screenshots, voice clips, explosive captions. He said, "Reason I got to do fat time cause a fake dude like Lil Meech lined me up. I hate your pops bred a lame like you." He called Meech disloyal. Said he sacrificed years with his kid and lost his business protecting someone too deep into pills and fame to care. He even called out other homies who stayed quiet, accusing them of choosing clout over loyalty. And the final blow, 3 Luck said Meech never had any real intention of helping him. And now, not only is his freedom gone, but so is any respect he had for the BMF image Meech was trying to live off. And who do you think poured gasoline on the whole thing? 50 Cent. He jumped straight on Instagram, posted the footage, added his own captions, and basically told the world, "Look what your boy Meech just did." That wasn't just a post. It was a setup explosion. But it didn't stop at the footage. That's when the real heat kicked in. Accusations of snitching, betrayal, and Lil Meech working with law enforcement after the arrest. The first shot was light but petty. 50 reposted a pic of Michael Rainey Jr. from Powerbook 2, showing love for his career glow up, but then threw a jab at Meech in the same breath. See what happens when you don't use and spend all your money on Chrome Hearts jeans. Then he turned it up. 50 started flooding his Instagram with posts about the scandal, screenshots of the footage, quotes from 3 Luck, and even clips of Meech apologizing for the setup and offering to pay him back. This wasn't just casual shade. This was a calculated digital beatdown. He went full troll mode, calling Meech meme, mocking him as a private school kid pretending to be gangster. One caption had everybody talking. Yo, how you going to throw your strap and drugs on your man lap while he sleep like here? This your stuff? LOL. Classic 50. But don't get it twisted. This ain't just a roast for laughs. This is his strategy. 50's been weaponizing social media for over a decade using viral memes and trolling to control the narrative, humiliate enemies, and stir the pot. Remember when Tekashi 6699 flipped on everybody? 50 clowned him, too. And now he's using the same blueprint on Lil Meech, comparing him to a known snitch, dragging up old betrayal stories and making sure fans link Meech's name to that same kind of disloyalty. This wasn't just a diss, it was a deliberate takedown. 50 wanted people laughing at Meech, doubting him, and whispering behind the scenes. And based on the reaction, mission accomplished. But the next thing 50 said didn't just poke at Meech. It lit a fuse with the entire Fenori family. As you guys probably saw, once 50 Cent started posting that body cam footage and clowning Lil Meech, fans started asking the obvious. Where's Big Meech in all this? He didn't give interviews. He didn't post threats. But what he did drop, that was loud enough. Photos started going up. Lil Meech standing next to his father, even while Big Meech is still behind bars. But it was the caption that caught attention. Nothing can stop us. We all the way up. Now, on the surface, that sounds like a message of support. But to people who understand how Big Meech moves, it felt more like a coded warning. This wasn't just a father backing his son. It was the head of the Fenori family letting it be known. We're still solid. Don't get it twisted. And behind the scenes, that message got louder. Industry folks started whispering that Big Meech had already sent word to 50 through mutual contacts. No public post, just a quiet but firm message. Tell him to stop playing with my son or else. That's not just damage control. That's old school street diplomacy, the type BMF was built on. And it worked. People close to the situation say things got icy real quick between the two camps. And fans noticed 50's tone shifting, too. So now this ain't just Lil Meech versus 50's Instagram feed. This is the entire BMF legacy going head-to-head with 50 Cent's media machine. What started as viral drama is now something way deeper. Street loyalty versus social media chaos. And the stakes, they're way past reputation at this point. So, let's be real. This Lil Meech scandal didn't just spark a new beef. It ripped the bandage off one that's been quietly bubbling under the surface for years. Because if you've been watching closely, this ain't just about some body cam footage or an IG post gone viral. This is about control, respect, and who really owns the BMF story. See, 50 Cent didn't just produce the hit show BMF. He built the entire platform that made Lil Meech a star. He handpicked him to play Big Meech in the series. He put his own brand, money, and reputation behind telling this story to the world. For years, that move looked like nothing but a win. Meech got Hollywood exposure. 50 got another smash on Stars, and BMF's legacy got reintroduced to a whole new generation. But behind all that flash, tension was already growing. According to industry whispers, things between 50 and Big Meech had been strained long before 50 ever posted the clip of Lil Meech and 3 Luck. The problem wasn't just loyalty, it was business. Word is there were disputes over the show's profits, questions about how much of the pie was being shared, and more importantly, who had the final say on how the Fenori family was being portrayed. And that's where things start getting sticky. Big Meech ain't just any consultant. He's the face of BMF, the one who built that empire brick by brick. And when you're dealing with a legacy like that, image is everything. Sources say Meech wasn't always feeling how his story was being shaped by someone who never lived it. He didn't like some of the creative decisions. He didn't like the direction the storyline was headed. And most of all, he didn't like being cut out of key calls. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has a track record of doing things his way. Ruthless, calculated, and always with the long game in mind. When things don't align with his vision, he moves on. Just ask anyone who's tried to go toe-to-toe with him in business or on social media. And the deeper you dig, the more it starts to look like this Lil Meech fallout was just the excuse 50 needed to blow the lid off a partnership that was already falling apart. Because let's not forget, Meech wasn't the only one 50 was sending shots at. In one of his Instagram posts, 50 didn't just clown Lil Meech. He called out Big Meech directly, claimed the OG wasn't loyal, hinted that there were informants in the circle, even teased dropping a whole documentary that would expose the truth. Now, that's not trolling, that's a threat. And if that documentary drops, best believe 50 is not holding back. He's already dropped documentaries on Supreme and other street legends. And he always positions himself as the one who keeps it real no matter who gets burned. So, what's really going on here? Because it's starting to look like we're watching a full-blown battle for narrative control. On one side, you've got Big Meech, still respected, still feared, still trying to protect the integrity of the BMF name. On the other, 50 Cent, the media mastermind who's made a career off reshaping people's legacies for profit, exposure, or revenge, and caught in the middle, Lil Meech, now facing allegations that could shatter his career before it ever really gets going. But there's more to it than that. Remember, there's history here. 50 and Big Meech didn't always agree on who should be in the room. For example, Meech's rumored alliances with figures like Rick Ross, someone 50 has had beef with for over a decade, rubbed 50 the wrong way. Some say 50 felt disrespected that Big Meech was still cozying up with people from rival camps while he was the one pushing BMF into mainstream culture. So, while fans were watching BMF on Stars, the real BMF story was unfolding behind the scenes. Quiet power plays, misaligned agendas, and now it's all spilling out in real time. Even the cancellation rumors hit different now, with 50 hinting that he might pull the plug on BMF. Fans are starting to wonder, was that a business move or was it personal? Because if you connect the dots, it looks like 50 might have used the Lil Meech controversy as his way of stepping away from a partnership he no longer trusted. And that's the part that stings the most. What started as a powerful alliance, a way to tell the Fenori story through the lens of someone who had the budget, the reach, and the platform, now feels like a fractured empire. So, yeah, the car footage caused a fire, but the real explosion had been building long before that. And let's be clear, this thing is far from over. As of today, the feud between 50 Cent and Big Meech is still red hot and deeply personal. 50 has gone as far as calling Big Meech a rat. Not once, but multiple times on social media. He even posted an image of a rat with the caption, "I think I'm Big Meech." A direct shot at the BMF founder that shocked both fans and OGs alike. That kind of disrespect don't just slide, it gets remembered. Meanwhile, Big Meech has tried to keep it cool on the surface, sticking to his death before dishing a code and moving quiet like the streets taught him. But behind the scenes, he sent clear messages to 50 through respected intermediaries, basically telling him, back off before this goes somewhere it can't come back from. And let's not forget, this ain't just beef over pride. There's money and media control on the line. Word is Big Meech is now working on his own BMF film with names like F. Gary Gray rumored to be involved. That move alone could threaten 50's whole grip on the BMF brand. Ross is already hyping it up, mocking the Stars show and claiming his version is the real story. 50 clapped back by going after not just Meech, but anyone siding with him, Young Buck, Rick Ross, you name it. At this point, it's not just two men beefing. It's a full-blown chess match, and nobody wants to fold first. And just like that, what started as a car ride with one bad decision turned into a public war with generational consequences.